Hi, International Grandmaster Ron W. Henley here with ICC and our summary coverage of Round 5. Of course, this is the Bilbao Masters Tournament. This is the 9th edition, and it is a 6-player, 10-round robin event. So today concluded the last round of the first half of the event, and we had 3 interesting games. First game we'll start with is World Championship challenger Karjakin at 27.73, facing the American Hikaru Nakamura, 27.87. Now for Nakamura, this is a big opportunity to try and beat both of the world champion challengers. So let's see what happened. Playing black, interestingly enough, Karjakin opens with c4, a little deviation from his usual e4. Some people speculating that maybe he's doing this just to avoid showing any match preparation for his upcoming match with Magnus Carlsen. Nakamura plays very solidly and steers towards a Queen's Gambit declined. Very solid play, and bishop f4. More common, of course, is bishop to g5, but bishop f4, very solid alternative for white. And now Nakamura plays c5. Of course, knight bd7, is considered very solid and is probably a little bit more the main line, but c5 is considered quite okay. Bishop takes, and now queen c2, knight c6, a3, queen a5. This has all been played many, many times before. And here, rook to d1, and now rook e8, an interesting move. Black's plan, of course, is that he wants to expand in the center with e5 and try and gain a tempo and take advantage of this bishop being on f4. Karjakin already started thinking here, which was a sign that he may have been in slightly unfamiliar territory. Played knight d2, which is a pretty typical move in this variation. But after e5, bishop g5, Nakamura hits him with knight d4. Bam! Now, of course, you always have to ask what actually happens if he takes this. Takes, pawn takes, knight takes, and of course this has been played theoretically quite a few times, and it's assumed that black is okay. Very, very complicated. Karjakin didn't wish to discuss this. He thought for quite a bit of time here, and in this position, after knight to d4, after some thought, he decided that he would play instead queen a4. Now, queen a4 threatens to take on f6 and take on e8, so it's not so easy for black to just simply retreat. Nakamura, for his part, traded queens, and then he played knight c2 check. And here, after king e2, played knight back check. And again, very dangerous. If he tries to take, we can see that king d3, bishop f5 check is very unpleasant. Black gets the piece back and the attack rages on. And so if we go back, we can see also that on king f3, bishop g4 check, king over. This bishop is under attack, so you would save it with check, and then say after a move like king up, bishop takes, you can see the knight on a4 is under attack, black's material ahead, and this would pretty much be over. So let's go back. So we can see after knight back to d4 check, Karjakin decided go ahead and play king back d1. Now, after another knight check, king up, and knight d4 check, they repeated moves. But the next question you have to ask is after knight d4 check, what happens if the white king decides to bravely go where no man should go and go up to d3? Well, then black has very powerful attack with knight to g4. And, for example, if knight takes bishop, knight check, king over, knight check, king up, pawn check, king over, and knight takes 2, checkmate. That would have been a bad day at the office for the white team, so we can see why Karjakin at this point, after knight d4 check, decided it was time to be prudent, play king back, and after further knight check, they agreed to a draw by the threefold repetition rule. Now, apparently the tournament here does have a rule saying that players can't rush to agree to a draw. And just going back one move here, one possibility for black, if he wanted, is he could play knight check, king up, and then think about playing bishop back